If you were to ask any semiconductor expert 3 or 4 years ago what would happen to China's ability to build advanced artificial intelligence chips after the United States imposed its strict export controls, they would have told you with a fair amount of certainty that the industry would freeze. And that is because the specific machines needed to print the incredibly small features of a modern computer chip, machines that use extreme ultraviolet light or EUV, were completely barred from entering the country. And without these complex tools, it was widely believed that manufacturing a 7-nanometer chip was either technologically impossible or economically ruinous. The expectation created the Biden administration and carried forward into the early transitional period of the next presidency was that China would be forced to accept a permanent technological stagnation, leaving them stuck with older, slower chips that simply could not compete with the cutting-edge hardware coming out of Silicon Valley. But rather than accepting defeat, that very necessity fueled a massive acceleration of investment by the Chinese Communist Party into their domestic semiconductor industry, focusing extensively on Huawei as the primary competitor to NVIDIA, an effort that has recently culminated in the launch of their new chips, the Ascend 910B and 910C. These are chips that by all conventional laws of economics and physics shouldn't really exist in a commercially viable form, but are nonetheless being installed by the thousands in data centers across China. Despite not having the advanced EUV machines, Huawei brute forced the engineering. They relied on domestic manufacturers like SMIC, who used older, less capable equipment to produce these chips. Then, as the political baton passed from the Biden administration to the Trump presidency, the regulations were loosened just enough to allow NVIDIA's powerful H200 chip into the Chinese market. But this permission came with such severe financial punishments that it hardly felt like an opening at all. Under these new rules, any Chinese company wanting to buy an H200 must now pay a 25% export levy on top of the already high price. And perhaps even more damaging to the business relationship, NVIDIA is now forcing these customers to pay for everything fully upfront to protect themselves against the risk that the US government might suddenly change its mind again and ban the shipment. To make matters even more complicated for NVIDIA, the new regulations dictate that shipments of these specific chips to China cannot exceed half of the volume that is shipped to American customers. And exporters must perform invasive background checks on their clients to prove the hardware won't end up in military hands. Amidst all this political confusion and regulatory uncertainty, no one is paying a higher price or working harder to stay in the game than China, particularly when it comes to artificial intelligence. So let's look at exactly what they're doing to mitigate these risks, stay ahead, and ultimately answer whether NVIDIA is destined to lose the China market entirely. So why is the Ascend 910B being treated as a surprise? The older manufacturing machines that China is still allowed to buy operate using deep ultraviolet light, which has a wavelength of 193 nanometers. Yet the critical features inside a modern AI chip are built on the 7-nanometer scale. If you try to use that wide beam of light to print such a tiny feature, it is like trying to write a detailed letter on a grain of rice using a thick black permanent marker. To get around this limit, they rely on a labor-intensive method called self-aligned quadruple patterning. Instead of printing the complex circuit in one clean flash like Western companies, they are forced to build the chip through a repetitive cycle of depositing material and carving it away, utilizing the machine to split one wide line into two, and then splitting those two into four, until they finally achieve the tiny dimensions required for modern computing. But this also comes with a severe penalty that a commercial company would almost never accept. Every time you run the silicon wafer through the machine for another pass, you increase the risk that a tiny speck of dust or a slight vibration will ruin the alignment, destroying the chip before it is even finished. The reports suggest that because of this complex multi-step process, the manufacturing yield for these chips is only around 30 to 40%, meaning that for every 10 chips they attempt to make, 6 or 7 of them are defective and must be thrown away. In a normal competitive market, a company like TSMC operates with yields closer to 90%, and any company throwing away the majority of its product would go bankrupt very quickly. But Huawei simply does not care about these terrible economics. Their primary objective is achieving self-sufficiency to end their reliance on Western technology. But let's look at this from the perspective of the customer. For giants like Alibaba or Tencent, the market offered only two choices: NVIDIA's H2O, which was the compliant, watered-down version permitted for export, or Huawei's Ascend 910B. To satisfy American regulations, NVIDIA was forced to remove most of the chip's calculation speed, leaving the H2O with a performance of just 148 teraflops, which is a shadow of the 4,500 to 5,000 teraflops in the unrestricted Blackwell B200 chips powering the rest of the world. However, because the regulations were focused primarily on calculation speed rather than memory speed, NVIDIA was able to keep the data transfer rates extremely high, making the H2O very fast at moving information around, even if it is slow at processing it. On the other side of the equation, Huawei's chips is the exact opposite. Because it is made on older equipment, it struggles to move data quickly. But in terms of raw brute force calculation, it delivers 320 teraflops, which makes it more than twice as powerful as the NVIDIA alternative. These opposing strengths create a fork in the road for AI development because the task of teaching an artificial intelligence model requires massive amounts of raw mathematical power, while the task of simply using a model often relies more on memory speed. So for the critical task of training new AI models, which is exactly what China wants to do to compete with the United States, the NVIDIA chip is computationally inadequate. And the Huawei chip, despite all its manufacturing flaws, is the superior tool for this job. From all of this, one thing remains abundantly clear, which is that NVIDIA is still technologically superior to Huawei because China's manufacturing ecosystem cannot yet produce a chip as efficient or as fast as the best American hardware. Huawei engineers recognize that, since they cannot physically manufacture a chip with higher transistor density than NVIDIA, they must bridge the performance gap by shifting the architectural focus from the speed of the individual processor to the aggregate bandwidth of the entire system. They implemented this strategy through the Cloud Matrix architecture, which stitches together nearly 400 Ascend chips using advanced optical interconnects instead of standard electrical copper, creating a low-latency fabric that allows the programs to treat the entire cluster as one unified computational memory pool. By scaling out horizontally, they successfully compensate for the inherent slowness of the individual chips, accepting that while this distributed architecture consumes significantly more power and physical space, it delivers the necessary training performance without requiring a single component from the American supply chain. For over a decade, the global standard parallel computing has been NVIDIA's CUBA platform, which has acted as the universal language for AI development. But China is now forcibly migrating its developer base to Huawei's Mindspore framework, creating a self-contained software ecosystem that is compatible with the code used by the rest of the world. While Huawei lags behind NVIDIA's H200 and Blackwell architectures, the CCP is pouring nearly $150 billion into the sector to close that gap. NVIDIA may have the technical lead, but it faces a rival with the force of a government determined to catch up.